Hey guys, tonight we are diving headfirst into the dusty, sun-baked world of ancient Egypt, specifically the peculiar, often baffling, and surprisingly influential realm of feline bureaucracy. Imagine stepping through a shimmering portal, not into a grand pharaoh's palace, but into a dimly lit, incense-perfumed archive filled with endless papyrus scrolls and the quiet purrs of thousands of administrative cats. You can almost smell the dust motes dancing in the sunbeams, filtering through tiny vents. Hear the rhythmic scratching of scribes and the soft padding of paws. This isn't the Egypt of monumental pyramids or fierce warriors. You probably won't survive this level of administrative detail. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Also drop your location and local time in the comments. I always love seeing how far these stories travel. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You find yourself in a vast, echoing hall, its walls covered in hieroglyphs depicting scenes of daily life, but instead of soldiers or farmers you see cats. Cats meticulously weighing grain, cats supervising construction, cats even sitting in judgment. The air is thick with the scent of aged papyrus and a faint musky odor that you soon realize is catnip. A large, fluffy ginger tabby wearing a small golden amulet on its collar pads silently past you, its tail held high with an almost regal air. This isn't just an affection for felines, this is something deeper. You watch as a human scribe, hunched over a low table, carefully unrolls a papyrus. He glances nervously at a sleek black cat perched on a high shelf, its eyes narrowed in what appears to be intense concentration, or perhaps just profound boredom. The cat lets out a soft trill, and the scribe immediately adjusts his posture, his hand moving with renewed vigor. It seems even human productivity is governed by these four-legged overlords. One mainstream historical fact about ancient Egypt is their profound reverence for animals, especially cats. They were not merely pets, they were seen as manifestations of deities, particularly the goddess Bastet. This reverence extended into every facet of their lives, even apparently their complex bureaucratic systems. You notice another cat, a calico, this time meticulously inspecting a stack of clay tablets. It nudges one with its nose, then bats at it, with a paw sending it clattering to the floor. The human assistant quickly scrambles to retrieve it, his face a picture of pure panic. Historians still argue whether the cats held genuine administrative power, or if their presence was more symbolic, a form of divine oversight. Was it a belief that the gods directly guided their governance through these animals, or simply a quirky extension of their religious practices? You lean closer, trying to decipher the faint scratches on the fallen tablet. It seems to be a ledger of some kind detailing grain allotments. The calico cat emits a low growl when you get too close, reminding you that you are merely an observer here. This place feels less like a government office and more like a temple dedicated to hyper-efficient, slightly judgmental felines. You can almost hear the unstated rule: touch nothing. Gaze only, and for the love of Ra, do not disturb the napping administrator. It's a truly peculiar setup, but there's an undeniable logic to it. Imagine trying to sneak past a dozen hyper-aware cats. They're better security than any guard. The sheer volume of papyrus scrolls in this hall is astounding, stretching as far as the eye can see in every direction. Each scroll is neatly labeled with a small clay tag, and many have tiny paw prints pressed into the drying clay, presumably as a form of official seal. It begs the question, did the cats have their own specific paw print signatures for different departments? The idea is ludicrous, yet somehow perfectly in keeping with the surreal atmosphere. You wonder if there's a specific cat for tax collection or a cat for flood management. Perhaps a particularly stern-looking feline is in charge of land disputes. You suppress a giggle at the thought, but then remember the stern gaze of the black cat on the shelf and quickly compose yourself. This is serious business, even if it involves fluffy, purring bosses. The air is surprisingly still despite the flurry of activity, a testament to the quiet efficiency of both human and feline workers. You notice one cat, a particularly fluffy Siamese, sitting on a stack of what looks like legal documents. It occasionally raises a paw to meticulously clean its face, its tail flicking with a rhythm that seems to dictate the pace of the room. It's like a furry metronome, keeping the bureaucratic symphony in time. This isn't just about worshipping cats, it's about integrating them into the very fabric of society in ways that defy modern understanding. You ponder the logistics of it all. How did they train these cats? Or were they simply allowed to roam and their actions interpreted as divine directives? The latter seems more likely given the independent nature of cats. Imagine trying to teach a cat to file paperwork. The mere thought is enough to make you smile. You spot a small alcove where a group of kittens are playfully batting at a dangling papyrus scroll. An older, dignified-looking cat sits nearby observing them with an almost paternal air. Perhaps this is the training ground for the next generation of feline administrators. Future tax collectors learning the ropes, one playful pounce at a time. The entire system is bafflingly complex yet strangely effective. You can't help but admire the ancient Egyptians for their willingness to embrace such an unconventional approach to governance. It certainly adds a certain unique flavor to their history. The gentle scratching of the scribe's reeds on the papyrus is almost meditative. The soft purrs of the cats add to the ambient soundscape, creating an atmosphere of calm, focused productivity. You realize that despite the absurdity of the situation, there is a profound sense of order here. It's a quiet hum of efficiency that makes you wonder if our modern officers could learn a thing or two from these ancient feline supervisors. Perhaps a mandatory cat nap hour for all employees would boost morale. Just a thought. The sun shifts its angle outside, casting long, dappled shadows across the hall as the feline administrators continue their diligent work. You follow the path of a particularly elegant Abyssinian cat, its sleek body, moving with an almost liquid grace as it weaves between the human scribes. It pauses at a table where a human is diligently copying hieroglyphs onto a new scroll. The Abyssinian sniffs the inkwell, then, with a delicate paw, nudges a small clay pot filled with what looks like powdered lapis lazuli. The human immediately understands, adding a touch of the blue pigment to the ink, making the next few characters sparkle with an ethereal glow. This isn't just a quirky tidbit, it's a testament to a system of communication that transcends spoken language, relying on subtle cues and apparently feline artistic direction. One quirky or fringe tidbit about ancient Egypt is the belief that certain cats could communicate directly with the gods, acting as intermediaries. This belief likely underpinned their role in bureaucracy, elevating their mundane actions to divine pronouncements. You watch in fascination as the Abyssinian then leaps onto a higher shelf, settling down amongst a pile of finished scrolls. It begins to meticulously groom itself, its tail occasionally sweeping across the papyrus, as if performing a final blessing on the documents. It's an unusual form of quality control, but somehow feels perfectly natural in this setting. Historians still argue whether the Egyptian belief in cat divinities was purely religious, or if it also served as a sophisticated form of social control. Could the fear of displeasing a divine feline supervisor have kept the human workforce in line? You can almost hear the internal monologue of a human scribe. I really don't want to mess this up. Bastet's little furry minions are watching. The idea of being judged by a cat for your penmanship is both hilarious and terrifying. Imagine your performance review being conducted by a particularly stern Persian. Your annual report, it purrs, lacks sufficient persuasiveness. You stifle a laugh, remembering where you are. The sheer volume of documents here speaks to an administrative machine of incredible scale. Every aspect of life, from grain distribution to temple offerings, seems to have been meticulously recorded and, apparently, overseen by cats. You notice a small shrine in one corner dedicated to a mummified cat, its eyes made of polished obsidian staring out with an unblinking gaze. Offerings of milk and tiny fish are placed before it, a clear sign that even in death, these feline bureaucrats commanded respect. It's a powerful reminder of the pervasive influence of their beliefs. You wonder about the daily routines of these feline supervisors. Did they have designated napping times? Were there specific breeds assigned to specific departments? Perhaps the more aloof cats were in charge of diplomacy, while the more playful ones handled public relations. The possibilities are endless and frankly, quite amusing. The light streaming through the high windows now illuminates a dusty corner where a very old, almost decrepit cat is napping peacefully on a stack of what look like very ancient financial records. This must be the senior auditor, past his prime but still commanding reverence. The younger cats give him a wide berth, a sign of respect for his years of service. It's like a furry retirement home for the administrative elite. You notice a scribe carefully placing a small bowl of fresh water near the old cat, then tiptoeing away. The level of care and consideration shown to these animals is remarkable, going far beyond mere pet ownership. It speaks to a deep integration into their societal structure. You contemplate the idea of a cat hierarchy within the bureaucracy itself. Were there chief cats, divisional cats, Was there a top cat who reported directly to the pharaoh? The mind boggles at the organizational chart. The continuous murmur of human voices combined with the occasional purr or meow creates a strangely soothing symphony. It's a testament to a harmonious working relationship, even if one party communicates primarily through meows and disdainful glares. You watch as a human cautiously approaches a particularly regal-looking Bengal cat. The human holds out a small piece of dried fish. The Bengal sniffs it disdainfully, then turns its head away. The human immediately retracts the offering, looking crestfallen. It seems even bribery has its limits in the world of Egyptian cat bureaucracy. Perhaps the Bengal was on a strict diet, or perhaps it simply preferred its fish fresh. You can almost hear the cat thinking amateur. Do you know who I am? I manage the entire Nile flood records. I do not partake in dried fish. It's a delightfully absurd thought. The detailed drawings on the walls offer further glimpses into this feline-centric administrative world. You see cats overseeing granaries, cats present at tax collection points, cats even sitting beside judges during legal proceedings. Their presence is ubiquitous, suggesting their role was far more than ornamental. It was integral. You wonder if there were specific rituals for appointing a cat to a bureaucratic position. Did they undergo a special anointing ceremony? Were they given miniature bureaucratic titles? The image of a cat being sworn into office, solemnly placing its paw print on a tiny oath, is just too much. This entire experience has reshaped your understanding of ancient Egypt. It's not just about pharaohs and pyramids anymore. It's about the quiet, purring power that hummed beneath the surface of their civilization, guiding the mundane and the magnificent alike. You can almost feel the collective purr of the bureaucracy, a gentle vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall. It's a powerful, comforting sound, almost like a lullaby. As the day wears on, the light in the hall grows softer, bathing the papyrus scrolls and the sleeping cats in a warm, golden glow. You notice the scribes, their shoulders now slumped from hours of meticulous work, occasionally stretching and rubbing their eyes. Yet the cats remain vigilant, their movements just as precise, their gazes just as intense. A large, fluffy Maine Coon cat, its fur a magnificent mix of browns and greys, rises from its slumber on a stack of land deeds. It stretches languidly, its claws extending and retracting with a soft snick against the papyrus. Then, with a deliberate pace, it pads over to a small water basin, taking a few delicate laps before returning to its post. This demonstrates not just a cat's natural rhythm, but the integration of their needs into the workflow. It's a symbiotic relationship where human needs are secondary to feline comfort. One mainstream historical fact about ancient Egypt is the meticulous record-keeping they employed for everything from agricultural yields to legal contracts. It is fascinating to consider how the presence of cats might have influenced the accuracy and integrity of these records. Perhaps the threat of a divine feline peering over one's shoulder ensured fewer errors. You spot a younger human scribe attempting to discreetly snack on a piece of dried fruit. A lean, inquisitive Siamese cat, previously engrossed in observing a beetle, suddenly fixates on the scribe's hand. The scribe, clearly aware of the potential consequences, quickly hides the fruit. The Siamese lets out a single, piercing meow and then stalks away, its tail twitching with an air of disapproval. It's a small, humorous moment that highlights the subtle power dynamics at play. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians attributed human-like intelligence to their cats, or if their respect for them stemmed purely from their divine association. Was it a profound understanding of feline behavior, or simply a projection of their spiritual beliefs? You lean against a towering shelf, careful not to disturb a particularly fluffy Persian who is meticulously cleaning its paws. You wonder what kind of information these cats were privy to. Did they overhear sensitive conversations? Did they possess some innate ability to discern truth from falsehood? The thought of a feline lie detector is both ridiculous and oddly compelling. Imagine a cat purring contentedly when the truth is spoken and hissing at a falsehood. It would certainly make legal proceedings more interesting. The sheer scale of the administrative tasks is overwhelming. You see sections dedicated to irrigation schedules, temple inventories, trade agreements, and even astronomical observations. And in each section, a cat, or often several, are present, acting as quiet, watchful overseers. The air, once filled with the fresh scent of incense, now carries a faint aroma of dried fish, a common offering to the feline residents. You notice a small, intricately carved wooden mouse toy lying discarded near a stack of tax documents. It seems even the most serious administrators have their playful moments. Perhaps a quick game of Chase the Mouse was a sanctioned break from bureaucratic duties. You observe a human scribe carefully tracing the outline of a cat's paw print onto a fresh papyrus scroll. It seems to be a template for an official seal. This ritualistic act further emphasizes the cat's role as a legitimate authority figure, their paw print as binding as any pharaoh's signet. It's a truly unique form of authentication. You can almost hear the conversation in the scribal school. Now remember, young scribe, your hand must be steady when drawing the divine paw print. Any deviation could result in the wrath of Bastet, and trust me, you don't want to explain that to the chief cat. The entire system is built on a foundation of reverence, and perhaps a healthy dose of fear. The low hum of the administrative machine continues, powered by the collective efforts of humans and cats. You notice a slight alteration in the lighting again. The sun is now beginning to dip below the horizon outside, casting long, distorted shadows that dance across the walls. The atmosphere in the hall shifts subtly, becoming quieter, more contemplative. Many of the cats, especially the older ones, are now curled up in various states of blissful sleep, their soft snores a gentle counterpoint to the quiet scratching of the remaining scribes. It speaks to a natural rhythm, a shift from active oversight to peaceful presence. You wonder if the nocturnal hours brought a different kind of feline administrative activity, perhaps nocturnal cats taking over the watch, or if the bureaucracy simply slowed down with the setting sun. The idea of night shift cats is strangely appealing. You see a group of human assistants, carefully covering the more sensitive scrolls with linen cloths, protecting them from dust and any wandering feline paws. This suggests a certain level of trust, but also a healthy respect for the cat's unpredictable nature. After all, a playful bat could easily unravel a century of carefully recorded data. The faint scent of lamp oil begins to mingle with the lingering incense and fish, a new layer to the olfactory tapestry of the hall. You realize that this peculiar bureaucratic system wasn't just a fleeting custom, but a deeply ingrained part of their culture, persisting through generations. It was a constant presence, a purring force shaping the daily lives of ancient Egyptians. It makes you reconsider our own bureaucratic systems. What if we had a few purring supervisors in our offices? Maybe it would make things a little less stressful, a little more serene. Or maybe just a lot more hairballs. The lamps around the vast hall flicker to life, casting long, dancing shadows that make the hieroglyphs on the walls seem to undulate. Most of the human scribes have departed, leaving only a skeletal crew working under the glow of the oil lamps. But the cats, oh the cats, they remain. Many are still napping, but a significant number are now wide awake, their eyes gleaming like tiny emeralds in the dim light. You notice a sleek black cat, one you hadn't seen before, patrolling the aisles with an almost military precision. It sniffs at every scroll, pauses at every desk, as if conducting a nightly audit. This suggests a shift in administrative duties, perhaps a nocturnal oversight role for certain felines. It's an internal audit system, feline style. One quirky or fringe tidbit is the concept of a dream bureaucracy, where certain decisions were believed to be revealed to priests and pharaohs through dreams, often influenced by the divine animals present in the temples. It's not a far leap to imagine the cats playing a role in this, purring insights into the slumbering minds of their human counterparts. You watch as the patrolling black cat stops at a particular scroll, nudging it with its nose. A human scribe, who had been dozing, immediately jerks awake, quickly unrolling the designated papyrus. He begins to read aloud, his voice a low murmur in the vast hall, as the cat sits patiently, listening intently. It's as if the cat is dictating the nightly agenda, or perhaps checking the day's progress. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians saw their cats as merely divine symbols or as intelligent beings capable of understanding human language and complex instructions. Was it a form of anthropomorphism or a genuine belief in their communicative abilities? You quietly observe, trying to discern the nature of the information being recited. It seems to be a list of agricultural statistics, specifically the yield of barley from various regions. The black cat occasionally lets out a soft trill, prompting the scribe to repeat certain figures or pause for a moment of contemplation. It's an interactive, if one-sided, performance review. You can almost hear the cat's internal monologue. Yes, the barley yield from the delta is acceptable. But what about the southern regions? Are we going to see a deficit? This is crucial, human. The air is thick with the scent of aged papyrus and the faint aroma of oil lamps. It's a calming atmosphere despite the inherent strangeness of the situation. You notice a small, fluffy white cat curled up inside an empty clay jar, its soft snores echoing slightly. Even the administrators need their beauty sleep. The silence is broken only by the soft rustle of papyrus, the low murmur of the scribe, and the occasional purr of a contented feline. You wonder if there was a specific cat for every hour of the day, a constant unbroken chain of feline oversight. Imagine a 24/7 cat surveillance system. It puts modern CCTV to shame. The meticulousness of the record keeping is truly impressive, a testament to the organizational skills of the ancient Egyptians, albeit with a furry twist. You see charts and graphs, inventories and projections, all meticulously drawn on papyrus, and always, somewhere in the frame, a cat. It's a reminder that their presence was not a random occurrence, but an integrated part of their administrative methodology. You imagine the daily briefings. Good morning, team. Let's review yesterday's grain shipments. Fluffy, did you verify the tonnage? The idea is so utterly charming and absurd that you can't help but smile. The shadows lengthen and deepen as the night progresses. The large hall feels even more immense now, the flickering lamplight struggling to illuminate its furthest reaches. You see a few more cats stir, stretching and yawning, their eyes blinking slowly as they adjust to the dimness. It's a quiet passing of the guard, a shift change perhaps, without any formal announcement or ceremony. The continuity of their oversight is maintained seamlessly. You notice a bowl of milk and a plate of fresh fish placed near a particularly ancient-looking cat, its fur almost entirely white with age. This must be a senior elder, receiving preferential treatment for its long and distinguished service to the bureaucracy. It's a testament to the respect and care afforded to these venerable feline administrators. You wonder if they had a pension plan for retired cats. The thought is both humorous and surprisingly endearing. The quiet diligence of the human scribes is admirable. They work without complaint, their hands moving rhythmically across the papyrus, seemingly accustomed to the watchful eyes of their feline supervisors. It's a bond forged over centuries, a unique partnership in the annals of history. You reflect on the sheer endurance of this system. It wasn't a fad, it was a deeply embedded aspect of their culture, surviving through multiple dynasties. This speaks to its effectiveness and its widespread acceptance among the populace. The idea that their entire civilization was guided, in part, by the subtle nudges and serene gazes of cats is a profound and fascinating concept. It certainly gives a whole new meaning to the phrase "cat, got your tongue" in a bureaucratic setting. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a silent, pervasive energy that keeps the wheels of ancient Egyptian governance turning, even in the quiet hours of the night. It's a comforting presence, a soft, purring guardian of their ancient order. The first faint hint of dawn begins to creep through the high windows, painting the eastern wall with a soft, ethereal grey. The oil lamps flicker and dim, their golden glow now fighting against the encroaching natural light. The black cat, which had been so diligently patrolling, settles down on a comfortable cushion near the entrance, its eyes slowly closing as it succumbs to the irresistible pull of morning slumber. You notice the human scribes, their faces etched with fatigue, preparing to leave. They carefully roll up the papyrus scrolls they were working on, placing them in designated slots. Before they depart, each scribe pauses to bow respectfully to a sleeping cat, or to offer a soft stroke to a feline still awake. This daily ritual, a quiet acknowledgement of the cat's authority, reinforces their unique position within the bureaucracy. One mainstream historical fact is the highly structured nature of ancient Egyptian society. With clear hierarchies and specialized roles, the integration of cats into this formal structure, particularly in administrative functions, presents a fascinating deviation from what we might expect from such a rigid society. You watch as a particularly young scribe, perhaps an apprentice, nervously approaches a large, fluffy tabby cat. He holds out a small piece of dried fish. The tabby blinks slowly, considers the offering, then delicately takes it, purring loudly. The apprentice beams, relieved, and quickly makes his exit. It's a small, humanizing moment in a system that often feels otherworldly, showing the personal interactions that underpinned this peculiar bureaucracy. Historians still argue whether the cats were seen as benevolent protectors of the records or as strict enforcers of accuracy, punishing negligence with divine wrath. Was it more carrot or stick, or perhaps a perfect balance of both? You imagine the fear of a divine feline curse for a misplaced decimal. It would certainly motivate you to double-check your calculations. The morning brings a new energy, a fresh wave of cats entering the hall, their tails held high, their whiskers twitching with curiosity. These appear to be the day shift cats, ready to take over the reins of administrative oversight. They move with purpose, sniffing out new scrolls, settling onto strategic vantage points. It's a well-oiled machine, despite its furry components. You notice a small contingent of cats heading directly to a section filled with scrolls related to temple administration. These must be the spiritual auditors, ensuring everything is aligned with divine will. It's a wonderfully specific, yet entirely plausible, division of labor in this context. The scent of fresh papyrus begins to mingle with the lingering smells of the night, signaling the start of a new administrative day. You wonder about the daily briefings held amongst the felines. Did they communicate through intricate meows and tail flicks, or was it a more telepathic form of oversight? The latter seems more fitting for such a mystical system. The sheer number of cats in the hall is truly astounding. It's a veritable feline convention, each cat playing its part in the grand bureaucratic symphony. You see cats napping, cats playing, cats meticulously cleaning themselves, and cats always watching. Their eyes miss nothing. It's a constant, pervasive presence that must have profoundly shaped the work environment. You spot a rather mischievous-looking cat batting at a piece of dangling string that has come loose from a scroll. Another cat, older and more serious, gives it a disapproving glare. Even within the feline hierarchy, there are clearly rules and expectations, and perhaps some inter-feline disciplinary actions. Don't mess with the scroll's mittens. This isn't playtime. This is the Department of Granary Inventory. The thought is both amusing and a little unnerving. The sunlight now fully floods the hall, illuminating every dust mote dancing in the air, every ancient hieroglyph, every soft-furred administrator. The quiet hum of the night shift gives way to a slightly more active, yet still serene, daytime buzz. You hear the faint scratching of new scribes arriving, their fresh reed pens poised over blank papyrus. It's a continuous cycle, an eternal loop of feline supervised administration. You reflect on the sheer resourcefulness of the ancient Egyptians, their ability to integrate their spiritual beliefs into the very practicalities of governance. It's a testament to their unique worldview, a blend of the mundane and the divine that seems so alien to modern sensibilities. Yet, here it stands, a testament to its efficacy. You can almost feel the purr of the collective administrative consciousness, a gentle vibration that keeps the machinery of ancient Egypt turning. It's a rhythm that has resonated through millennia, a testament to the enduring power of feline oversight. As the morning progresses, the hall fills with the gentle clatter of new scribes settling in, the rustle of fresh papyrus, and the eager, watchful eyes of the day shift cats. You notice a particularly vocal Siamese cat, its piercing meows echoing through the vast space. It seems to be directing a human scribe to a specific stack of scrolls, nudging them with its head until the scribe understands. This direct, almost dictatorial, communication style highlights the cat's active participation in the daily workflow. It's an executive function, delivered with purrs and insistent nudges. One quirky or fringe tidbit is the concept of a cat census within the bureaucracy itself, where different cat breeds or individuals were assigned to specific administrative tasks based on their perceived temperaments or auspicious markings. Imagine the annual feline performance review. Your performance in the tax department has been exemplary, Cleopatra. Your strategic naps have inspired productivity. You observe a young, playful kitten attempting to pounce on a moving ink-stained finger of a scribe. The scribe, with remarkable patience, gently pulls his hand away, offering the kitten a small piece of string instead. The kitten, momentarily distracted, happily attacks the string, demonstrating the delicate balance between playful feline nature and the seriousness of the administrative environment. Historians still argue whether the administrative structure with cats was a top-down mandate from the pharaoh or an organic development that arose from the widespread reverence for felines among the common people. Was it a state-imposed system or a cultural phenomenon that became formalized? You lean against a worn pillar, its stone cool beneath your hand, and gaze at the intricate carvings on the wall. They show cats overseeing everything from the construction of public works to the collection of funerary offerings. Their ubiquitous presence suggests that no aspect of ancient Egyptian life was untouched by feline supervision. You notice a specific area of the hall dedicated to legal matters. Here, a particularly stern-looking sphinx cat, its ears flattened, watches over the proceedings. It occasionally lets out a low growl when a human speaks too loudly or gestures too wildly, bringing an immediate hush to the area. It seems even legal decorum was enforced by feline authority. It's a quiet but firm reminder that even in heated debates, you're still in a library. The scent of fresh papyrus is now strong, mingling with the subtle aroma of catnip emanating from a basket in a corner. It seems some of the more stressed feline administrators have their own version of a stress ball. You see a human carefully sketching a detailed diagram of a new irrigation system on a large piece of papyrus. A sleek, grey tabby cat sits perched on the edge of the table, occasionally nudging the scribe's hand, almost as if offering architectural advice. Perhaps the cat was a master of fluid dynamics in a past life. The level of trust placed in these animals is truly remarkable. It's not just about religious reverence, but an almost practical application of their perceived wisdom. You imagine a conversation between two scribes. Did you consult with Fluffy on the new dam design? He has a surprisingly good eye for structural integrity. The idea is both charming and a little absurd. The soft light of the morning sun now fully illuminates the hall, revealing every detail of this extraordinary bureaucratic world. The continuous low hum of human activity, punctuated by the occasional meow or purr, creates a unique auditory landscape. It's a symphony of administrative efficiency. Played out on an ancient stage, you notice a small, intricately carved wooden figure of a cat, seated in a pose of serene contemplation, placed on a high shelf overlooking the entire hall. This is clearly a symbolic representation of the ultimate feline authority, a reminder of the divine presence that underpins their entire system. It's a silent, watchful guardian, embodying the essence of their peculiar power. You wonder about the rituals and ceremonies associated with these administrative cats. Were there specific prayers offered to them before important decisions were made? Were their comfort and well-being seen as vital for the smooth functioning of the state? The answer, given the evidence, seems to be a resounding yes. It's a testament to a unique worldview where the spiritual and the practical were inextricably intertwined. You can almost feel the gentle vibration of the collective feline presence, a steady, calming energy that permeates the very air of this ancient hall. It's a testament to the enduring power of their peculiar bureaucratic system. Mid-morning arrives and the hall is now buzzing with a controlled energy. Scribes move purposefully between sections, carrying scrolls and clay tablets. The cats, ever watchful, seem to have settled into their various supervisory roles. You notice a particularly large and fluffy Persian cat, its long fur meticulously groomed, sitting directly on top of a stack of scrolls that appear to be temple inventories. Any human needing access to these documents must politely request the Persian to move, a request often met with a slow blink and a deliberate stretch before the feline begrudgingly relocates. This acts as an ingenious, albeit furry, form of document control, ensuring only authorized access. One mainstream historical fact is the incredible wealth and power concentrated within the ancient Egyptian temples, which functioned not just as religious centers, but also as major economic institutions. The feline oversight of their inventories would have been crucial for maintaining order and preventing misappropriation. You observe a human scribe carefully drawing a detailed map of the Nile's annual inundation, highlighting the areas suitable for cultivation. A lean, agile Abyssinian cat paces back and forth along the edge of the table, occasionally nudging the scribe's elbow as if to point out a specific detail or suggest a correction. The scribe, without missing a beat, adjusts his lines, seemingly understanding the cat's silent critique. It's a testament to an almost telepathic form of collaboration. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians believed their cats possessed actual prophetic abilities, or if their actions were simply interpreted as divine omens by human observers. Was it genuine insight, or an elaborate system of pattern recognition and faith? You ponder the possibility of a cat's innate understanding of geographical flows. Perhaps their instinctual connection to the land gave them a unique perspective on the Nile's behavior. No, human, the water will pool there this year. Adjust your calculations accordingly. The thought is both whimsical and a little unsettling. The air is warm and still, filled with the scent of aged papyrus and the faint, sweet smell of figs, a common offering to the feline overseers. You spot a small, intricately carved statue of Bastet, the cat goddess, placed on a high shelf, her serene gaze watching over the bustling hall. It serves as a constant reminder of the divine patronage bestowed upon these administrative cats. You see a playful interaction unfolding in the corner. A young kitten, barely more than a furball, is attempting to help a scribe by batting at his reed pen. The scribe, rather than scolding it, gently guides the kitten's paw, showing it how to make a mark on a scrap piece of papyrus. It's a glimpse into the gentle training methods employed, integrating even the youngest felines into the bureaucratic fold. It's a very hands-on, or rather paws-on approach to education. The rhythmic scratching of reed pens on papyrus continues, a steady beat beneath the occasional meows and purrs. The sunlight, now high in the sky, streams through the large arched windows, illuminating dust motes dancing like tiny stars in the warm air. It's a peaceful, productive atmosphere, far removed from the frantic pace of modern offices. You wonder if the absence of stressful deadlines and email notifications contributed to this serene efficiency. Perhaps the cats enforced strict no-email policies. You notice a human attendant carefully refilling bowls of fresh water and milk, ensuring the comfort and hydration of the feline staff. There's a clear understanding that the well-being of the cats is paramount to the smooth functioning of the entire administrative system. It's a testament to their revered status. You observe a particular phenomenon when a significant decision is about to be made, or a difficult legal dispute is being deliberated. A specific group of older, more dignified cats will gather around the relevant scrolls or individuals. They sit quietly, their eyes unwavering, their tails often flicking slowly, as if in deep contemplation. Their presence seems to lend an air of gravity and spiritual authority to the proceedings. It's like a feline judicial panel. The sheer trust placed in these animals to guide and oversee the intricate details of a sophisticated civilization is astounding. It transcends simple superstition and suggests a profound belief in their inherent wisdom and connection to the divine. You can almost feel the collective purr of the bureaucratic system, a gentle, powerful vibration that resonates throughout the hall, a soothing rhythm that has defined ancient Egyptian governance for millennia. The afternoon sun begins its slow descent, painting the western walls of the hall in shades of orange and rose. The administrative activities continue apace, but with a subtle shift in rhythm. The energy of the morning gives way to a more measured, thoughtful pace. You observe a particularly fascinating exchange. A human scribe presents a newly completed scroll, likely a complex legal decree, to a stately tortoiseshell cat. The cat sniffs the papyrus meticulously, then proceeds to walk across it, leaving a series of faint paw prints in its wake. The scribe then meticulously traces these paw prints with a reed pen, effectively integrating the cat's signature into the official document. This is not just symbolic, but a practical method of authenticating documents with feline endorsement. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain cat breeds were specifically bred or selected for their supposed bureaucratic aptitudes. Perhaps the aloofness of a Siamese made it ideal for sensitive diplomatic documents, while the robust nature of a Maine Coon lent itself to agricultural records. Historians still argue whether these feline signatures were legally binding in the same way as a pharaoh's seal, or if they served a more spiritual purpose, invoking divine approval. Was it a practical legal necessity, or a deeply symbolic act? You can almost hear the ancient legal debate, Your Honor. The paw print clearly indicates divine approval, therefore the contract is valid. The thought of a courtroom drama starring a cat is genuinely amusing. You notice a small, mischievous kitten batting at a dangling tassel from a scribe's robe. The scribe, clearly annoyed but unwilling to disturb the tiny administrator, attempts to gently push the kitten away with his knee, all while maintaining a serious expression. It's a small, relatable moment of frustration in a highly disciplined environment. The air is now thick with the scent of dried ink and a faint, sweet aroma of honey, perhaps from offerings made to the feline deities. You see a human carefully mending a torn scroll, painstakingly rejoining the delicate fibers. A regal Egyptian mouse sits nearby, observing the repair process with an intense, almost critical gaze, as if ensuring the integrity of the document is maintained. It's a furry form of quality control, ensuring the longevity of their precious records. You wonder if the cats had a specific department for document restoration, or if their oversight extended to every aspect of the archives. The thought of a cat overseeing archival preservation is quite delightful. The sheer volume of documents in this hall is mind-boggling. It speaks to a society that placed an immense value on record keeping, on the written word, and on the meticulous tracking of every aspect of its existence. And at the heart of it all were the cats, quiet guardians of knowledge. You spot a human offering a bowl of fresh milk, to a particularly ancient-looking cat, its fur almost entirely white with age. The cat laps delicately, its purr a low rumble, a sound of contentment that seems to echo through the vast hall. It's a moment of tender care, highlighting the deep bond between humans and their feline supervisors. You imagine the stories this old cat could tell, the generations of scribes it has watched, the countless scrolls it has overseen. It's a living archive in itself. The sunlight continues to fade, and the hall begins to take on a more subdued atmosphere. The collective energy seems to be winding down, a gentle transition from the active work of the day to the quiet contemplation of the evening. Many cats are now curled up in various comfortable spots, either napping or simply observing the dwindling human activity with half-closed eyes. It's a natural rhythm, mirroring the ebb and flow of human life. You see a human carefully placing small, glowing oil lamps near important sections of scrolls, ensuring that even in the dimming light, the vital records remain illuminated. It's a testament to the continuous nature of their administrative tasks, always prepared for the next moment of feline inspiration or instruction. You reflect on the genius of this system, how it harnessed the innate reverence for cats, and transformed it into a functional, if unconventional, form of governance. It's a powerful example of how culture and belief can shape practical realities in profound and unexpected ways. You can almost feel the gentle pulse of the feline bureaucracy, a steady, calming presence that has guided the ancient Egyptians through countless centuries. It's a soft, purring hum that whispers tales of a time when cats truly ruled the administrative world. As twilight descends upon the hall, painting the distant walls in shades of deep indigo, the sounds of human activity further diminish. A few diligent scribes remain, their figures hunched over their work, illuminated by the soft glow of oil lamps. But the cats, the nocturnal supervisors, are beginning to awaken. You notice a shift in the feline population, with more active, sleek forms emerging from the shadows. A particularly elegant black cat, its fur blending almost perfectly with the deepening gloom, stretches luxuriously on a stack of astrological charts. Its eyes, now fully dilated, seem to absorb every flicker of light, every subtle movement. This suggests a specialization, perhaps a specific feline oversight for esoteric or night-related administrative tasks. It's the department of cosmic calculations, overseen by a cat with a very serious stare. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' profound interest in astronomy and their meticulous recording of celestial events for religious, agricultural, and even calendrical purposes. The idea of feline assistance in these complex observations adds a delightful layer to their scientific pursuits. You observe a human astronomer scribe carefully adjusting a small, portable star map. The black cat, with an almost imperceptible flick of its tail, indicates a specific constellation on the chart. The scribe immediately nods, making a minute adjustment to his calculations. It's a subtle dance of communication, a quiet collaboration between species. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians attributed a sixth sense to their cats, allowing them to perceive things beyond human comprehension, or if their observations were simply interpreted with a bias towards divine guidance. Was it intuition or superstition? You lean closer, trying to fathom the nature of this feline astronomical expertise. Perhaps cats, with their superior night vision, could literally see celestial patterns invisible to the human eye, thus guiding the scribes. No human, that star is slightly off. Are your lenses clean? The thought of a feline astrophysicist is both hilarious and strangely compelling. The air is now cool and still, carrying the scent of night-blooming jasmine from an unseen garden outside, mingling with the ever-present aroma of papyrus. You spot a small, intricately carved statue of Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, placed beside a sleeping cat. It's a clear acknowledgement of the cat's connection to knowledge and intellectual pursuits, further cementing their role as guardians of information. You see a human assistant carefully placing small bowls of fresh, cooling water around the hall, ensuring the comfort of the nocturnal feline staff. There's a palpable sense of reverence and care in their actions, a silent testament to the cat's importance. You wonder about the night reports presented by the cats. Did they communicate their observations through specific meows, paw placements, or perhaps through enigmatic dreams instilled in the sleeping scribes? The possibilities are endless and wonderfully mysterious. The soft scratching of reed pens continues, a rhythmic counterpoint to the occasional purr or soft meow. The vast hall, once bustling, now feels more intimate, more contemplative under the glow of the oil lamps. It's a space where ancient knowledge is meticulously preserved and perhaps gently guided by feline intuition. You notice a small, well-worn cushion placed specifically for a very old, almost completely white cat, whose fur seems to absorb what little light there is. This ancient feline is perched on a high shelf, overseeing the astrological section, its eyes half closed in what appears to be a state of deep, cosmic contemplation. It's the Grand Master of celestial charts, the Yoda of Egyptian cat bureaucracy. The sheer dedication to their administrative duties, even in the quiet hours of the night, is remarkable. It speaks to a profound integration of the cats into the very fabric of ancient Egyptian society, where their presence was seen not just as auspicious, but as essential for the proper functioning of the state. You reflect on the cyclical nature of this peculiar bureaucracy, the seamless transition from day to night, from human oversight to feline guidance, all united by a common purpose, the meticulous management of their complex world. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a subtle, pervasive energy that keeps the ancient gears turning, a quiet purr echoing through the timeless halls. The moon, now high in the night sky, casts slivers of pale light through the narrow windows, illuminating the intricate details of the hieroglyphs on the walls. The hall is mostly silent, save for the soft rustle of papyrus and the occasional low purr of a nocturnal feline. You observe a small, very alert black cat, its tail twitching almost imperceptibly, sitting on a pile of scrolls related to dream interpretation and prophecies. It seems to be intently focused on a human scribe who is meticulous transcribing a lengthy dream narrative. This suggests a unique role for certain cats in the mystical aspects of the bureaucracy, perhaps as conduits or interpreters of divine messages revealed through dreams. It's the department of oneirocritical analysis, with a feline specialist. One quirky or fringe tidbit is the practice of cat mummification, where not just elite cats, but common administrative cats were mummified with great care, often buried with offerings, indicating their enduring spiritual and practical significance even after death. This suggests their bureaucratic roles continued in the afterlife, or at least, their essence was preserved for future guidance. You watch as the human scribe pauses, his pen hovering over the papyrus. The black cat lets out a soft, almost imperceptible meow, nudging a specific section of the dream narrative with its nose. The scribe immediately understands, adding a small, additional symbol to the text, a detail he had apparently missed. It's a silent, profound collaboration between human and feline consciousness. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians believed their cats could actively influence human dreams, guiding them towards specific interpretations, or if the cats simply served as physical manifestations of the divine presence during dream rituals. Was it active participation or passive symbolism? You wonder about the secrets contained within these dream scrolls. Were they prophecies of the Nile's flood, warnings of political intrigue, or simply the bizarre meanderings of the sleeping mind, interpreted with feline assistance? The thought of a cat analyzing your nightmares is both comforting and a little unsettling. The air is cool and dry, carrying the scent of dust and ancient secrets. You notice a small, intricately carved wooden figure of a cat, its eyes made of polished lapis lazuli, placed on a high shelf, overlooking the dream interpretation section. It's a symbolic guardian, a silent testament to the mystical power attributed to these feline administrators. You see a human attendant carefully refilling small oil lamps, ensuring a continuous soft glow throughout the hall. The light seems to attract tiny insects, which are swiftly and silently dispatched by the patrolling cats, adding a layer of practical pest control to their administrative duties. It's a multi-talented workforce, ensuring both spiritual guidance and insect eradication. The quiet hum of the night is occasionally punctuated by the soft padding of feline paws as they patrol their assigned sections, their eyes gleaming in the dim light. Their vigilance is palpable, a silent reassurance that the ancient knowledge is safe under their watch. You reflect on the extraordinary level of trust placed in these animals. It's not just about their divine connection, but an almost practical reliance on their innate senses and instincts to navigate the complexities of governance and spiritual matters. You spot a particularly playful kitten attempting to bat at the flame of an oil lamp, quickly but gently deterred by an older, more serious cat. It's a clear indication that even during the night shift, order and discipline are maintained within the feline ranks. Not during working hours, young one. We have prophecies to interpret. The entire scenario is a testament to the unique symbiotic relationship that flourished in ancient Egypt, a partnership between humans and cats that transcended the ordinary and ventured into the realms of the profound and the peculiar. You can almost feel the gentle pulse of the feline bureaucracy, a steady, calming energy that has overseen countless nights and guided generations of Egyptians. It's a soothing hum, a timeless melody echoing through the ancient halls. The deepest part of the night settles over the hall, a hush falling that is broken only by the rhythmic breathing of sleeping cats and the faint rustle of papyrus. You observe a fascinating phenomenon. Several cats, seemingly in a state of profound meditation, are gathered around a central area where a large, intricately carved globe depicting the constellations slowly rotates. Their eyes, though sometimes closed, seem to follow the celestial movements. This suggests a form of collective astral projection, or perhaps a communal act of channeling cosmic energies, all in service of administrative guidance. It's the Department of Astrological Forensics, with an advanced feline research team. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' sophisticated understanding of astronomy and their reliance on celestial observations for calendrical and religious purposes. The idea of cats directly participating in these complex calculations adds a mystical dimension to their scientific pursuits, blending the empirical with the divine. You watch as a human scribe, working in the dim light, carefully records the positions of certain stars as indicated by the cat's seemingly intuitive focus. The scribe occasionally consults ancient tablets, verifying the feline observations with pre-existing knowledge. It's a remarkable fusion of ancient wisdom and animal intuition. Historians still argue whether the cats were perceived as mere vessels for divine information, or if they possessed their own innate wisdom that contributed to the administrative process. Was it a passive channeling or an active, intelligent contribution? You consider the possibility that cats, with their natural sensitivity to subtle energies and their nocturnal habits, might have been uniquely attuned to celestial phenomena, making them invaluable partners in astronomical endeavors. Forget your complex equations, human. The truth is in the purr. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint, earthy scent of ancient clay, mingled with the ever-present aroma of dried papyrus. You notice a small, intricately carved figure of Nut, the sky goddess, placed on a high shelf, overlooking the celestial observation area. It's a symbolic acknowledgement of the cosmic connection inherent in this feline-led administrative section. You see a human attendant carefully tending to the oil lamps, ensuring a continuous soft glow that illuminates the rotating globe and the meditating cats. The flickering light casts long, dancing shadows that seem to bring the constellations to life on the walls. You wonder about the deeper meanings of these feline astronomical observations. Were they predicting the future? Were they seeking guidance for the pharaoh? Or were they simply enjoying a very intense light show? The possibilities are as vast as the night sky itself. The profound silence of the hall is occasionally broken by a soft purr, a gentle sigh, or the almost imperceptible twitch of a cat's tail. Their presence is a calming, steady force, a silent guardian of cosmic knowledge. You reflect on the sheer scale of trust and belief that the ancient Egyptians placed in these animals. It transcends mere superstition and speaks to a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life, from the smallest kitten to the vastness of the cosmos. You spot a young, sleepy kitten attempting to join the meditating cats, only to be gently nudged away by an older, more serious feline. It seems that even cosmic contemplation requires a certain level of maturity and focus. Not yet, young one. Your purr isn't quite aligned with the galactic core. The entire scene is a powerful testament to the unique and deeply spiritual nature of ancient Egyptian bureaucracy, where the mundane and the mystical were inextricably intertwined, guided by the silent wisdom of their feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle pulse of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of cosmic purpose. As the deepest hours of the night reluctantly give way to the first hints of pre-dawn grey, the hall remains steeped in a profound quietude. The meditating cats around the celestial globe seem to deepen their slumber, their forms relaxed but still emanating a subtle energy. You observe a fascinating shift in the feline population. A group of particularly lithe and agile cats, their fur sleek and dark, emerge from the shadows. These cats, unlike the more sedate daytime administrators, move with an almost predatory grace, silently patrolling the perimeter of the hall. This suggests a dedicated security detail, feline guardians protecting the ancient records from any unseen nocturnal threats. It's the Department of Archives and Security, overseen by a very focused feline tactical team. One quirky or fringe tidbit is the anecdotal evidence suggesting that certain cats were trained to detect disturbances or intrusions within the temple complexes, their heightened senses acting as an early warning system. It's plausible that this extended to the bureaucratic archives, where their keen awareness would be invaluable. You watch as one of these patrolling cats stops abruptly, its ears swiveling, its eyes fixed on a distant shadow. It lets out a low, almost inaudible growl. A human night guard, who had been dozing at his post, immediately snaps to attention, his hand instinctively going to his weapon. The cat then nudges the guard's leg, indicating a specific direction, before resuming its silent patrol. It's a remarkably effective, non-verbal alarm system. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians saw their cats as possessing an inherent ability to detect malevolent spirits, or simply as excellent physical deterrents against human intruders. Was it a spiritual protection or a pragmatic security measure? You consider the practical advantages of feline security. They are quiet, agile, and their nocturnal vision is superior. Plus, who would suspect a cat of being a highly trained guard? Just a cute kitty, they'd think, right before getting a claw in the ankle. The air is cool and dry, carrying the scent of ancient dust and a faint, metallic tang from the oil lamps. You notice that along the walls, interspersed among the hieroglyphs, are small, stylized carvings of cats in watchful poses, their eyes wide and alert. These artistic representations seem to mirror the living feline guardians, a constant reminder of their protective presence. You see a human attendant carefully refilling the oil lamps, their soft glow casting long, dancing shadows that seem to bring the ancient carvings to life. The continuous illumination ensures that the feline security detail has enough light to perform their duties. You wonder about the training of these feline guardians. Were they specifically chosen for their stealth and alertness? Did they undergo a rigorous cat boot camp where they learned advanced pouncing and stealth techniques? The image of a feline ninja patrol is both amusing and surprisingly fitting for this peculiar bureaucracy. The profound silence of the hall is punctuated only by the soft padding of feline paws and the occasional faint rustle of papyrus as a cat brushes against a scroll. Their vigilance is palpable, a silent, pervasive presence that safeguards the priceless knowledge contained within these walls. You reflect on the genius of a system that leveraged not just the religious reverence for animals, but their innate physical and sensory capabilities for practical administrative and security functions. It's a testament to the ancient Egyptians' holistic approach to societal management. You spot a particularly fluffy cat, clearly off-duty, curled up on a warm papyrus scroll, enjoying a deep, contented sleep. Even the most dedicated security personnel need their downtime. I fold 3 imaginary intruders tonight. Time for a well-deserved nap. The entire scene reinforces the deeply embedded and multifaceted role of cats in ancient Egyptian bureaucracy, a system where the sacred and the practical were inextricably linked, and where a purr could be as powerful as a pharaoh's decree. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of constant vigilance. The first blush of dawn begins to paint the eastern wall with a gentle blush of rose and gold, slowly chasing away the lingering shadows of the night. The feline security detail, having completed their nocturnal rounds, slowly recedes back into the deeper recesses of the hall, finding comfortable spots for their well-deserved morning slumber. You observe a subtle shift in the administrative rhythm as the day shift cats begin to stir, stretching languidly and preparing for their daily oversight. A particularly fluffy calico cat, its fur a delightful mosaic of colors, pads gracefully towards a section filled with scrolls related to agricultural planning. It settles onto a pile of papyrus, its eyes bright and alert, ready to scrutinize the day's grain forecasts. This suggests a seamless transition of authority, a perfectly synchronized change of the feline guard. One mainstream historical fact is the critical importance of agriculture to the ancient Egyptian economy, particularly the annual flooding of the Nile, which dictated their harvests. The meticulous planning of planting and harvesting cycles was paramount, and feline oversight would have ensured optimal resource allocation. You watch as a human scribe, arriving for his morning duties, immediately approaches the calico cat, presenting a freshly updated scroll detailing the expected Nile inundation levels. The cat sniffs the papyrus, then gently nudges a specific paragraph with its nose, as if emphasizing a critical data point. The scribe acknowledges with a respectful bow and begins to prepare for the day's tasks, incorporating the feline's silent input. It's a remarkable fusion of human diligence and feline intuition. Historians still argue whether the cats were seen as having an intrinsic connection to the rhythms of nature, allowing them to predict environmental changes, or if their reactions were simply interpreted as divine guidance by a populace eager for favorable harvests. Was it innate wisdom or wishful thinking? You consider the possibility that a cat's sensitivity to atmospheric pressure or subtle vibrations could have provided early warnings of changes in the Nile's flow. The barometer indicates a slightly higher flood this year. Human, plant your crops accordingly. The thought is both amusing and oddly logical. The air, now cool and fresh with the morning light, carries the scent of blossoming lotuses from a distant pond, mingling with the familiar aroma of aged papyrus. You notice small, delicately woven baskets placed throughout the agricultural section, filled with fresh fish and milk, breakfast offerings for the day's shift feline administrators. It's a testament to the continuous provision for their comfort and well-being. You see a group of human apprentices carefully unrolling large, intricate maps of the various agricultural districts, preparing them for the day's feline inspections. The cats, in turn, begin to settle onto these maps, their paws occasionally tracing lines or tapping at specific regions, seemingly confirming or questioning the proposed plans. It's a highly interactive, hands-on approach to agricultural management. The soft rustle of papyrus and the occasional purr create a soothing auditory backdrop to the early morning administrative activities. The hall, once deep in nocturnal quietude, now begins to hum with a gentle, productive energy. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, elevating them beyond mere pets to essential partners in governance and the very sustenance of their civilization. You spot a rather sleepy-looking human scribe attempting to discreetly yawn, only to be met with a disapproving glare from a particularly alert cat. It seems that even during the early hours, feline vigilance is absolute. No slacking human. The harvest depends on your accurate record-keeping and my supervisory purrs. The entire scene is a vibrant testament to the unique and enduring peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the mundane tasks of governance were infused with a layer of the divine, guided by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of agricultural prosperity. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, flooding the hall with a warm, golden light, the agricultural section of the bureaucracy becomes a hive of activity. You observe a group of human scribes diligently recording data on crop yields, livestock inventories, and grain storage. Overseeing this bustling scene is a majestic, striped tabby cat, its eyes keenly following every movement, occasionally twitching its tail as if in silent calculation. This is clearly the head of the agricultural department, a feline statistician of immense gravitas. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain administrative cats possessed a form of catalogue memory, capable of recalling vast amounts of data related to past harvests and resource distribution, making them invaluable for long-term planning. Imagine a cat reciting grain yields from 3 dynasties ago. You watch as a young apprentice scribe makes a small error in his calculations, his reed pen hovering over a misplaced hieroglyph. The tabby cat, with an almost imperceptible flick of its paw, gently nudges the papyrus, drawing the scribe's attention to the mistake. The apprentice's eyes widen in realization, and he quickly corrects the error, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's acute precision. Historians still argue whether the cat's interventions were purely instinctive reactions to visual anomalies, or if they possessed a genuine understanding of mathematical concepts and data integrity. Was it feline intuition or a profound, almost human-like intelligence? You consider the possibility of a cat's inherent ability to spot discrepancies, perhaps sensing an imbalance in the numbers. The energy of these figures is not harmonious, human. Something is amiss. The thought of a cat auditing your spreadsheets is both amusing and slightly terrifying. The air is now thick with the scent of dried grain and a faint aroma of fresh papyrus. You notice a small, intricately carved statue of Renenutet, the goddess of harvest and nourishment, placed on a low table amidst the scrolls. It serves as a symbolic focal point, embodying the divine blessings upon their agricultural endeavors, channeled, of course, through the cats. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing the bowls of water and milk. ensuring the comfort and hydration of the feline supervisors who are diligently overseeing the agricultural data. There's a palpable sense of respect and gratitude in their actions. You wonder about the daily routines of these agricultural cats. Did they conduct field inspections? Did they supervise the loading of grain boats? The idea of a cat overseeing a harvest, batting at stray stalks of wheat, is a delightful image. The continuous low hum of human activity, punctuated by the occasional purr or soft meow, creates a unique symphony of agricultural administration. The hall feels alive with purpose, a tangible manifestation of the ancient Egyptians' reliance on their land and their feline guardians. You reflect on the symbiotic relationship between humans and cats in this context. The humans provided the labor and the record-keeping, while the cats provided the divine oversight, the intuitive guidance, and perhaps the critical eye that ensured accuracy and prosperity. You spot a particularly lazy-looking cat, clearly a generalist rather than a specialist, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls related to obscure temple donations. It seems not every feline administrator is a workaholic. Someone has to keep an eye on the less exciting documents, too. It's a perfectly acceptable use of my time. The entire scene is a vibrant testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the practicalities of food production were imbued with a layer of spiritual guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of bountiful harvests. As the morning continues its steady march towards midday, the focus of the feline bureaucracy shifts subtly towards matters of trade and commerce. You observe a bustling section of the hall where scrolls detailing exotic goods, trade routes, and merchant contracts are meticulously handled by human scribes. Dominating this area is a sleek, black Mao cat, its lean body and intelligent eyes reflecting the shrewdness required for commercial oversight. It paces along the tables, occasionally stopping to sniff a particular scroll, its tail twitching with an almost imperceptible rhythm, as if silently calculating profit margins. This is clearly the chief trade negotiator, a feline expert in ancient economics. One mainstream historical fact is the extensive trade networks developed by the ancient Egyptians, reaching far beyond their borders to procure luxury goods, timber, and other vital resources. The role of cats in overseeing these complex transactions adds a unique layer of divine assurance to their commercial dealings. You watch as a human merchant scribe nervously presents a new trade agreement to the Black Mao. The cat sniffs the document, then delicately taps a specific clause with its paw, as if scrutinizing the fine print. The scribe immediately takes note, perhaps preparing to renegotiate a less favorable term. It's a silent yet powerful form of quality control in international commerce. Historians still argue whether the cat's influence in trade was based on a belief in their ability to discern honest dealings from fraudulent ones, or if their presence served as a psychological deterrent against unscrupulous merchants. Was it a divine lie detector or simply a furry intimidation tactic? You consider the practical implications. No one wants to upset a divine feline, especially when large sums of valuable goods are at stake. My portfolio suggests this deal is not perfectly aligned with our interests, human. Reconsider. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, entirely plausible. The air in this section of the hall is permeated with the exotic scents of frankincense, myrrh, and rare spices, mingling with the ever-present aroma of dried papyrus. You notice small, intricately carved amulets depicting various deities associated with prosperity and safe travel interspersed among the trade scrolls. These serve as a constant reminder of the divine blessings sought for successful commercial ventures, often mediated by the feline overseers. You see a human attendant carefully replenishing bowls of water and fresh fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline trade experts. There's a palpable sense of respect, and even a touch of awe in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role. You wonder about the specific trade routes overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in punt expeditions, another in Nubian gold trade? The idea of highly specialized feline trade experts is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low hum of human voices, discussing prices and cargo, is punctuated by the occasional meow or purr from the feline supervisors. It's a rhythmic symphony of ancient commerce, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the very fabric of their economic life, believing that their presence ensured prosperity and fair dealings. You spot a particularly plump cat, clearly well fed from its commercial oversight, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls detailing luxury goods. It seems even the most diligent trade experts enjoy the perks of their position. All this gold and incense makes one terribly sleepy. My perspective on market trends needs a power nap. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the intricacies of trade and commerce were imbued with a layer of spiritual guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of thriving trade routes. As midday approaches, the sun's rays stream directly into the heart of the hall, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air like tiny, golden particles. The focus now shifts towards the vast and complex arena of temple administration and religious decrees. You observe a section of the hall dedicated to these sacred matters, where human priests and scribes meticulously manage rituals, offerings, and theological texts. Perched atop a towering stack of papyrus scrolls, almost like a living deity, is a magnificent and ancient Egyptian Mao, its golden eyes radiating an almost divine aura. This is undoubtedly the chief theologian, a feline arbiter of sacred law. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain cats were believed to be literal reincarnations of specific deities, making their administrative decisions not just divine guidance, but direct pronouncements from the gods themselves. Imagine Bastet herself, in furry form, approving a new temple endowment. You watch as a human priest, clad in crisp white linen, respectfully presents a newly transcribed religious text to the Mao. The cat extends a delicate paw, gently tracing a specific hieroglyph on the scroll, then lets out a soft, resonant purr. The priest immediately understands, nodding solemnly, perhaps receiving a divine confirmation or a subtle correction to the text. It's a profound, silent communion. Historians still argue whether the cat's presence in religious administration was primarily symbolic, representing the divine presence, or if they were believed to actively interpret sacred texts and rituals. Was it a passive representation or an active, intelligent engagement with theology? You consider the possibility that a cat's seemingly random movements or vocalizations were meticulously interpreted as divine signs, adding another layer of complexity to their religious understanding. The purr volume indicates a favorable omen for tomorrow's procession. Human. Proceed. The thought is both mystical and uniquely Egyptian. The air in this sacred section is thick with the sweet scent of burning incense and the earthy aroma of dried herbs used in temple rituals. You notice small, intricately carved offering tables laden with fresh flowers, milk, and tiny, perfectly formed bread loaves, all intended for the feline divine administrators. It's a testament to the profound reverence and care shown to them. You see a human attendant carefully tending to a small, ornate brazier, ensuring a continuous stream of fragrant smoke that drifts gently towards the elevated cat. It's a ritualistic act, acknowledging the divine authority of the feline overseer. You wonder about the specific religious duties performed by these cats. Did they oversee the mummification process? Did they supervise the casting of spells? The idea of a cat guiding a mortuary ritual is both macabre and strangely fitting for ancient Egypt. The continuous, low murmur of priestly chants and the soft rustle of sacred texts are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline theologian. It's a harmonious symphony of sacred administration, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry deities. You reflect on the extraordinary depth of belief that permeated every aspect of ancient Egyptian life, transforming even mundane administrative tasks into acts of divine worship, all channeled through the esteemed feline population. You spot a particularly serene-looking cat, its eyes closed in what appears to be a state of deep meditation, perched on a stack of funerary scrolls. It seems even in matters of the afterlife, feline guidance was sought. My perspective on the journey to the dot is that the soul should travel with ample snacks. The entire scene is a powerful testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the most sacred aspects of their civilization were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of divine order. As the sun reaches its zenith, casting a brilliant, almost blinding light into the hall, the administrative focus shifts to the intricate world of public works and infrastructure. You observe a bustling section where scrolls detailing architectural plans, labor allocations, and resource management for canals, roads, and monuments are meticulously handled by human engineers and scribes. Dominating this area is a powerful, muscular tabby cat, its coat streaked with the colors of the desert, its eyes sharp and discerning. It pads confidently across architectural blueprints, occasionally nudging a complex diagram with its nose, as if pointing out a structural flaw or suggesting a more efficient design. This is clearly the chief engineer, a feline master builder. One mainstream historical fact is the monumental achievements of ancient Egyptian engineering, from the pyramids to elaborate irrigation systems, which required immense organization and resource management. The idea of cats overseeing these grand projects adds a unique layer of divine oversight and perhaps intuitive structural analysis. You watch as a human architect, with a furrowed brow, presents a newly drawn plan for a temple pylon to the tabby cat. The cat sniffs the blueprint, then places a paw firmly on a specific section, its claws lightly extended, seemingly indicating a point of weakness or a potential design improvement. The architect immediately takes note, making a quick sketch on a separate piece of papyrus. It's a silent, profound collaboration between human design and feline architectural critique. Historians still argue whether the cat's interventions were genuinely based on an understanding of engineering principles, or if their actions were interpreted as divine directives that subtly guided human design choices. Was it feline structural intuition, or a religiously sanctioned form of creative guidance? You consider the practical implications. A cat's innate understanding of balance and stability, honed from countless leaps and climbs, might actually make them excellent structural consultants. Human, this foundation is not perfectly balanced. The wind load on the northeast corner is unacceptable. The thought is both amusing and remarkably plausible. The air in this section is filled with the earthy scent of clay and stone dust, mingled with the faint, metallic tang of tools. You notice small, intricately carved models of pyramids and obelisks placed around the architectural plans, serving as miniature prototypes for the feline engineers to scrutinize. You see a human attendant carefully refilling bowls of fresh water and milk, ensuring the comfort and hydration of the feline engineering team. There's a palpable sense of respect, and even a touch of awe in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in shaping their monumental landscape. You wonder about the specific projects overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in canal construction, another in quarry operations? The idea of highly specialized feline engineers is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low hum of human voices, discussing measurements and materials, is punctuated by the occasional deep purr or soft meow from the feline supervisors. It's a rhythmic symphony of ancient engineering, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the very fabric of their monumental achievements, believing that their presence ensured structural integrity and divine approval. You spot a particularly elegant cat, its fur a vibrant orange, meticulously cleaning its paws on a pile of scrolls detailing the construction of a new royal tomb. It seems even in death, feline oversight was paramount. One must always maintain professional standards, even when overseeing the construction of eternal resting places. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the grandest feats of engineering were imbued with a layer of spiritual guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of architectural brilliance. As the afternoon sun begins its slow descent, casting long, dappled shadows across the hall, the focus of the bureaucracy subtly shifts to matters of law and justice. You observe a solemn section where human judges and scribes meticulously handle legal disputes, decrees, and criminal records. Perched on a high, ornate judicial bench, almost like a living embodiment of justice, is a magnificent, pure white cat, its eyes a piercing blue. It sits motionless, its gaze unwavering, its tail occasionally twitching with an almost imperceptible rhythm, as if silently weighing evidence. This is undoubtedly the Chief Justice, a feline arbiter of ancient Egyptian law. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that cats were sometimes used in ancient Egyptian courtrooms, not just for their divine connection, but for their perceived ability to sense guilt or innocence, perhaps through subtle changes in human scent or behavior. Imagine a cat purring at the truth, hissing at a lie. You watch as a human litigant nervously presents his case to the seated white cat, carefully unrolling a scroll detailing his grievance. The cat blinks slowly, then lets out a soft, almost imperceptible meow, nudging a specific point on the papyrus with its nose. The judge, seated below, immediately takes note, asking a pointed question based on the feline's silent direction. It's a silent yet powerful form of judicial guidance. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in legal proceedings was purely symbolic, invoking divine justice, or if they were believed to possess genuine insight into human morality and truth. Was it a divine oracle or a furry lie detector? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered animal, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage honesty and discourage perjury. Your testimony lacks purity, human. I sense deceit. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, deeply impactful. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the faint scent of myrrh and the metallic tang of ancient ink. You notice small, intricately carved figures of Maat, the goddess of truth and justice, placed around the judicial bench, serving as symbolic reminders of the principles upheld by the feline judiciary. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and milk, ensuring the comfort and hydration of the feline judicial team. There's a palpable sense of deference and even a touch of fear in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of law. You wonder about the specific types of cases overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in land disputes, another in theft, or perhaps even in marital discord? The idea of highly specialized feline legal experts is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of legal arguments and the soft rustle of scrolls are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline judges. It's a rhythmic symphony of ancient justice, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the very fabric of their legal system, believing that their presence ensured fairness and divine judgment. You spot a particularly sleek, black cat, its eyes gleaming with an almost predatory intensity, sitting near a stack of scrolls detailing criminal sentences. It seems even in matters of punishment, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on recidivism suggests a longer sentence is in order, human. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the complexities of law and justice were imbued with a layer of spiritual guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of immutable law. As evening approaches, casting long, dramatic shadows across the hall, the focus of the bureaucracy shifts towards the intricate world of funerary rites and the administration of the afterlife. You observe a solemn section where human mortuary priests and scribes meticulously manage the preparation of the deceased, the inventory of grave goods, and the compilation of funerary texts. Dominating this area is a majestic, long-haired black cat, its fur as dark as the deepest night, its eyes a luminous amber, seeming to gaze beyond the veil of life. It sits motionless atop a sarcophagus-shaped papyrus chest, its tail occasionally twitching with an almost spiritual rhythm, as if communing with the spirits of the departed. This is undoubtedly the chief undertaker, a feline guide to the mysteries of the dot. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' profound obsession with the afterlife and their elaborate rituals for ensuring a successful transition for the deceased. The role of cats in overseeing these sacred processes adds a unique layer of divine protection and guidance for the journey into eternity. You watch as a human mortuary scribe nervously presents a newly inscribed funerary text to the black cat. The cat sniffs the papyrus, then delicately places a paw on a specific passage, its claws lightly extended, as if endorsing the efficacy of the spell or prayer. The scribe immediately nods, his face filled with solemn relief, perhaps receiving a divine confirmation of the text's potency. It's a silent yet profound blessing for the journey ahead. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in funerary rites was purely symbolic, representing the protective power of Bastet, or if they were believed to actively guide the souls of the deceased through the underworld. Was it a passive representation or an active, spiritual escort? You consider the practical implications. The presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely bring comfort to the bereaved and ensure that all funerary procedures were meticulously followed, lest the cat's disapproval invite ill fortune in the afterlife. Your embalming technique lacks perfection, human. This soul deserves better. The thought is both morbidly humorous and, in this context, deeply significant. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the distinct, slightly sweet scent of resins and spices used in the embalming process. You notice small, intricately carved figures of Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification, placed around the funerary scrolls, serving as symbolic reminders of the divine protection offered during the passage to the afterlife, often mediated by the feline overseers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of water and small offerings of dried fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline funerary team. There's a palpable sense of solemn respect, and even a touch of fear in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of life and death. You wonder about the specific aspects of funerary administration overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in the preparation of canopic jars, another in the inventory of grave goods, or perhaps in the recitation of the Book of the Dead? The idea of highly specialized feline funerary experts is both charming and a little unsettling. The continuous, low murmur of priestly chants and the soft rustle of funerary texts are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of eternal passage, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most sacred and profound aspects of their civilization, believing that their presence ensured a safe and prosperous journey into the afterlife. You spot a particularly serene-looking cat, its eyes closed in what appears to be a state of deep contemplation, curled up on a pile of scrolls detailing the judgment of the heart by Osiris. It seems even in the ultimate judgment, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on this soul's deeds suggests a lighter feather, human. Their intentions were good, despite the occasional mouse in the granary. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the mysteries of the afterlife were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of eternal peace. As the night deepens, casting profound shadows that dance like forgotten spirits across the vast hall, the administrative focus shifts towards the vital and often delicate realm of diplomatic relations and foreign affairs. You observe a secluded section where human envoys and scribes meticulously manage treaties, foreign correspondence, and intelligence reports from distant lands. Perched with an air of sophisticated aloofness atop a stack of beautifully illustrated scrolls depicting foreign dignitaries, is a magnificent and sleek Siamese cat, its piercing blue eyes reflecting an almost uncanny understanding of complex political maneuvers. It sits motionless, its long tail occasionally flicking with a rhythm that suggests deep contemplation, as if silently weighing the nuances of international intrigue. This is undoubtedly the chief diplomat, a feline master of ancient diplomacy. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain cats were believed to possess a natural aversion to deception, making them invaluable assets in detecting falsehoods in diplomatic negotiations or identifying untrustworthy foreign emissaries. Imagine a cat hissing at a deceitful ambassador. You watch as a human envoy, newly returned from a mission to the Hittite Empire, nervously presents his report to the Siamese cat. The cat sniffs the papyrus, then delicately taps a specific passage with its paw, its claws lightly extended, as if questioning the veracity of a particular statement or the sincerity of a foreign ruler's intentions. The envoy immediately takes note, perhaps preparing to offer further clarification or to revise his assessment. It's a silent yet powerful form of diplomatic vetting. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in diplomacy was purely symbolic, representing the divine will in international relations, or if they were believed to possess genuine insights into human character and political machinations. Was it a divine blessing on negotiations, or a furry polygraph? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage honesty and discourage duplicity in foreign relations, lest the cat's disapproval invite diplomatic disaster. This treaty lacks persuasiveness, human. I sense a hidden agenda from the Babylonians. Also, their fish offerings were substandard. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, deeply impactful. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the exotic scents of foreign spices, and the faint aroma of cedar, perhaps from a distant trade partner. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various foreign deities, placed on shelves near the diplomatic scrolls, serving as symbolic gestures of respect to other cultures, acknowledged and perhaps influenced by the feline overseers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of water and small, perfectly portioned pieces of fresh fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline diplomatic team. There's a palpable sense of solemn respect, and even a touch of apprehension in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of war and peace. You wonder about the specific diplomatic challenges overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in border disputes, another in trade agreements, or perhaps in alliances against rival empires? The idea of highly specialized feline diplomatic experts is both charming and a little unsettling. The continuous, low murmur of foreign languages and the soft rustle of diplomatic texts are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline negotiators. It's a rhythmic symphony of international relations, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most sensitive aspects of their foreign policy, believing that their presence ensured favorable outcomes and divine protection from external threats. You spot a particularly stoic cat, its eyes closed in what appears to be a state of deep concentration, curled up on a pile of scrolls detailing military strategies against the Hyksos. It seems even in matters of national security, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on battle formation suggests a flanking maneuver human. Also, less chariot noise next time. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the complexities of international relations were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of geopolitical stability. The quiet hum of the hall deepens as the moon ascends to its zenith, casting long, spectral shadows across the ancient walls. The administrative focus now shifts to the meticulous realm of personal petitions and royal decrees. You observe a dedicated section where human scribes carefully receive, transcribe, and process countless requests from common citizens to the pharaoh, as well as the pharaoh's direct edicts to the populace. Perched with an air of benevolent, yet unwavering authority atop a gilded cushion placed on a low, ornate table, is a serene and majestic Maine Coon cat, its fluffy tail occasionally sweeping across the papyrus as if granting a silent benediction. Its eyes, deep and knowing, seem to weigh the merit of each plea. This is undoubtedly the chief petitioner, a feline liaison between the people and the divine ruler. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' belief in the pharaoh as a divine intermediary between the gods and humanity, making the process of petitioning the ruler a direct appeal to divine will. The role of cats in this process adds an intriguing layer of feline intercession. You watch as a human scribe, with trembling hands, carefully unrolls a new petition from a distraught farmer seeking relief from oppressive taxes. The Maine Coon cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific phrase on the papyrus, as if drawing attention to the most poignant part of the plea. The scribe immediately underlines the section, perhaps anticipating a more favorable response from the pharaoh. It's a silent yet powerful form of advocacy. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in processing petitions was primarily symbolic, representing the pharaoh's divine compassion, or if they were believed to genuinely influence the pharaoh's decisions through mystical means. Was it a furry filter or a divine influencer? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage honesty in petitions and ensure that genuine grievances were brought to the pharaoh's attention, lest the cat's disapproval invite cosmic imbalance. This farmer's plea for tax relief has a persuasive resonance. Human. Recommend a reduction. and perhaps a few extra fish for his troubles. The thought is both compassionate and, in this context, utterly plausible. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the faint scent of dried herbs and the lingering aroma of offerings from grateful citizens. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various protective deities, placed around the petition scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for divine intervention, often mediated by the feline overseers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, carefully prepared morsels of meat, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline petitioner. There's a palpable sense of reverence and humility in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of personal fate. You wonder about the specific types of petitions overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in pleas for justice, another in requests for royal favor, or perhaps in appeals for mercy? The idea of highly specialized feline advocates is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of whispered pleas and the soft rustle of scrolls are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline liaison. It's a rhythmic symphony of human need and divine response, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most personal and intimate aspects of their governance, believing that their presence ensured compassion and divine intervention for their citizens. You spot a particularly elegant cat, its fur a vibrant ginger, meticulously cleaning its paws on a pile of scrolls detailing past royal decrees. It seems even in matters of ultimate authority, feline oversight was paramount. One must always maintain perfect administrative clarity, even when dealing with the whims of a pharaoh. And perhaps a small amendment here. Concerning the annual allocation of belly rubs, the entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the deeply personal struggles of humanity were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of justice and compassion. As the pre-dawn hush settles over the grand hall, casting a sense of timeless tranquility, the administrative focus shifts to the vital domain of education and scribal training. You observe a quiet, almost reverent section where young apprentices learn the intricate art of hieroglyphic writing, mathematics, and history, guided by older, experienced scribes. Perched with an air of serene wisdom atop a stack of rudimentary practice papyri is a venerable, grey tabby cat, its eyes half closed in what appears to be perpetual contemplation, yet missing nothing. Its tail occasionally twitches, a subtle signal of attentiveness. This is undoubtedly the Grand Tutor, a feline guardian of knowledge and mentor to generations of scribes. One mainstream historical fact is the highly structured and rigorous education system in ancient Egypt, particularly for scribes who were the backbone of their administration. The idea of cats overseeing this crucial training adds a unique layer of intuitive guidance and perhaps a gentle form of disciplinary oversight. You watch as a young apprentice, clearly struggling with a complex mathematical problem, nervously attempts to erase a mistake on his practice scroll. The grey tabby cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific area on the papyrus, not where the error is, but where the apprentice needs to refocus his attention. The apprentice, with a look of dawning understanding, immediately re-examines his calculations, finding and correcting his mistake. It's a silent yet powerful form of pedagogical intervention. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in education was primarily symbolic, representing the divine imparting of wisdom, or if they were believed to possess genuine teaching abilities, perhaps through their ability to sense human understanding or frustration. Was it a furry muse or a strict, purring professor? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the god Thoth, would surely inspire diligence and accuracy in young scribes, lest the cat's disapproval lead to intellectual stagnation. Your hieroglyphs lack precision, young one, more practice on your car touches, and perhaps less napping during lessons. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, deeply motivational. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the faint scent of fresh papyrus and a subtle hint of ink, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of Thoth, the god of wisdom and writing, placed around the training area, serving as symbolic reminders of the divine patronage bestowed upon their intellectual pursuits, often mediated by the feline tutors. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, tempting pieces of dried fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline educational team. There's a palpable sense of respect and gratitude in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in shaping the minds of future administrators. You wonder about the specific subjects overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in astronomy, another in medicine, or perhaps in the memorization of complex legal texts? The idea of highly specialized feline academics is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of lessons and the soft scratching of reed pens are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline tutors. It's a rhythmic symphony of learning, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the very foundation of their intellectual life, believing that their presence ensured accuracy, enlightenment, and divine inspiration for their students. You spot a particularly playful kitten attempting to bat at a dangling piece of papyrus from a history scroll, only to be gently nudged away by the grand tutor. It seems even during lessons, feline discipline is paramount. Not now, young one. We are discussing the intricacies of the Old Kingdom. Your time for playful destruction will come later. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the pursuit of knowledge and the training of future generations were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of continuous learning. As the first rays of dawn begin to filter through the high windows, painting the eastern wall with a soft, ethereal light, the administrative focus shifts to the vital, yet often overlooked, realm of public health and hygiene. You observe a relatively small but highly active section where human physicians and scribes meticulously manage records of illnesses, medical treatments, and sanitation protocols. Perched with an air of calm authority atop a carefully placed stack of medical papyri is a sleek black cat, its fur gleaming in the nascent light, its eyes sharp and observant. Its tail occasionally twitches with an almost diagnostic rhythm, as if silently assessing the health of the populace. This is undoubtedly the chief medical officer, a feline guardian of ancient Egyptian well-being. One mainstream historical fact is the surprisingly advanced medical knowledge of the ancient Egyptians, including surgical procedures, pharmacology, and public sanitation practices. The idea of cats overseeing these crucial health initiatives adds a unique layer of intuitive insight and perhaps a divine preventative measure. You watch as a human physician, with a worried expression, presents a newly updated scroll detailing an outbreak of a mysterious illness in a remote village. The black cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific passage on the papyrus, describing a particular symptom or a traditional remedy. The physician immediately takes note, perhaps rethinking his approach or considering an overlooked herbal treatment. It's a silent yet powerful form of medical consultation. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in public health was primarily symbolic, representing the protective power of Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of healing, or if they were believed to possess genuine abilities to detect disease or guide effective treatments. Was it a furry diagnosis or a divine prescription? You consider the practical implications. Cats, with their keen senses and natural fastidiousness, might have been excellent indicators of poor sanitation or the presence of pests carrying disease. Your perspective on this epidemic suggests improved ventilation and fewer rodents, human. Also, more purrs for the afflicted. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably logical. The air in this section is cool and clean, permeated with the faint scent of medicinal herbs and a subtle hint of disinfectant, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of Sekhmet and Imhotep, the deified architect and physician, placed around the medical scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for divine healing and wisdom, often mediated by the feline health officers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, nutrient-rich portions of dried fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline medical team. There's a palpable sense of respect and concern in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in safeguarding public health. You wonder about the specific types of ailments overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in eye diseases, another in digestive issues, or perhaps in the management of surgical procedures? The idea of highly specialized feline medical experts is both charming and a little unnerving. The continuous, low murmur of medical discussions and the soft rustle of treatment records are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline healers. It's a rhythmic symphony of public health, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most personal and critical aspects of their well-being, believing that their presence ensured healing, prevention, and divine protection from illness. You spot a particularly plump cat, its fur a vibrant orange, meticulously cleaning its paws on a pile of scrolls detailing the side effects of various medicinal concoctions. It seems even in matters of pharmaceutical oversight, feline vigilance was paramount. My perspective on this dosage suggests a slight reduction human. Also, fewer bitter herbs. They make one very sleepy. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the intricate details of public health were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of wellness and healing. As the morning light fills the hall with a warm, pervasive glow, the administrative focus shifts to the critical, yet often unseen, realm of resource allocation and supply chain management. You observe a bustling section where human scribes and overseers meticulously track the flow of goods, from quarry stone to temple incense, from grain to precious metals, ensuring that every project and every citizen receives their due. Perched with an air of meticulous discernment atop a stack of inventory ledgers is a lean, agile Abyssinian cat, its distinctive ticked coat shimmering in the light, its eyes bright with an almost unnerving intelligence. Its tail occasionally twitches with a precise rhythm, as if silently calculating logistical efficiencies. This is undoubtedly the chief logistics officer, a feline master of ancient Egyptian supply chains. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain cats possessed an innate ability to sniff out inefficiencies or shortages in resource distribution, leading to the timely identification of bottlenecks or corrupt practices. Imagine a cat leading you directly to a hidden cache of diverted grain. You watch as a human overseer, with a worried expression, presents a newly updated scroll detailing a projected shortfall of timber for a construction project. The Abyssinian cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific entry on the papyrus, indicating an alternative source or a potential reallocation from another project. The overseer immediately takes note, his face showing a mixture of surprise and relief, perhaps realizing a solution he had overlooked. It's a silent yet powerful form of logistical problem solving. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in resource allocation was primarily symbolic, representing divine abundance, or if they were believed to possess genuine strategic insights into complex logistical challenges. Was it a furry oracle of supply or a natural talent for optimization? You consider the practical implications. Cats, with their innate sense of order and their ability to quickly assess their surroundings, might have been excellent at identifying misplaced goods or inefficient storage methods. Your inventory system lacks perfection, human. There's a hidden surplus of granite in the western quarry. Also, where are my extra fish rations? The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably shrewd. The air in this section is cool and dry, permeated with the faint, varied scents of different raw materials, earth, wood, metal, and grain, mingling with the familiar aroma of dried papyrus. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various deities associated with abundance and prosperity, placed among the inventory scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for a smooth and plentiful flow of resources, often mediated by the feline logistics officers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, perfectly scaled portions of dried meat, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline logistics team. There's a palpable sense of respect and diligence in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in maintaining the economic stability of the empire. You wonder about the specific types of resources overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in grain distribution, another in precious minerals, or perhaps in the tracking of exotic imports. The idea of highly specialized feline resource managers is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of inventory checks and the soft rustle of ledger scrolls are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of supply chain management, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most intricate and vital aspects of their economy, believing that their presence ensured efficiency, fairness, and divine abundance for their civilization. You spot a particularly lazy-looking cat, its fur a delightful mix of ginger and white, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls detailing the allocation of ceremonial oils. It seems even in matters of luxury goods, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on optimal incense distribution requires a catnap human. The most efficient route often involves a long stretch. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the complexities of resource allocation were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of economic prosperity. As the sun climbs steadily towards its zenith, filling the hall with a bright, vibrant light, the administrative focus shifts to the delicate and often personal realm of family records and genealogies. You observe a quiet, almost intimate section where human scribes meticulously record births, deaths, marriages, and lineage, preserving the intricate tapestry of ancient Egyptian families. Perched with an air of gentle but firm authority atop a stack of ancestral scrolls is a serene and dignified Sphinx cat, its furless body revealing every graceful curve, its large, intelligent eyes seeming to hold the wisdom of generations. Its tail occasionally twitches with a soft, almost imperceptible rhythm, as if silently connecting with the echoes of the past. This is undoubtedly the chief genealogist, a feline guardian of lineage and family history. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' profound emphasis on family lineage and ancestry, often tracing their heritage back through many generations for social standing, religious purposes, and property rights. The idea of cats overseeing these records adds a unique layer of spiritual verification and perhaps a divine connection to the ancestral spirits. You watch as a human scribe, with a furrowed brow, carefully transcribes a complex family tree, struggling to confirm a distant familial connection. The Sphinx cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific name on the papyrus, indicating a previously overlooked marriage or a crucial birth record. The scribe immediately takes note, his face lighting up with understanding as the missing link is found. It's a silent yet powerful form of genealogical revelation. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in family record keeping was primarily symbolic, representing the continuity of life and divine blessings on the family, or if they were believed to possess genuine insights into ancestral spirits or an innate understanding of familial bonds. Was it a furry psychic or a living library of lineage? You consider the practical implications. Cats, with their sensitivity to subtle energies and their often uncanny ability to know things, might have been uniquely attuned to the complex relationships within families, even those long past. Your perspective on this family tree suggests a forgotten branch, human. Check the records from the time of Hatshepsut. Also, someone should personally visit Great Aunt Mildred more often. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably intuitive. The air in this section is cool and dry, permeated with the faint scent of ancient linen and the subtle aroma of dried flowers, perhaps offerings left for ancestors, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various deities associated with family, fertility, and the protection of the home, placed among the genealogical scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for blessings on the lineage, often mediated by the feline genealogists. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, delicate portions of dried meat, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline genealogical team. There's a palpable sense of respect and reverence in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in preserving the sacred bonds of family. You wonder about the specific challenges overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in adoption records, another in inheritance disputes, or perhaps in tracking the descendants of royal lines? The idea of highly specialized feline family historians is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of names and dates and the soft rustle of genealogical scrolls are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of family history, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most personal and enduring aspects of their lives, believing that their presence ensured the sanctity of lineage and the continuity of generations. You spot a particularly playful kitten attempting to bat at a dangling piece of papyrus from a scroll detailing an ancient divorce decree. It seems even in matters of familial discord, feline oversight was paramount. Not now, young one. This is a very sensitive matter. My perspective on separation agreements is that they should always be fair and involve extra fish for all parties. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the intricacies of human relationships were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of enduring family ties. As the sun begins its slow descent, painting the hall in long, golden streaks, the administrative focus shifts to the intricate world of taxation and tribute. You observe a bustling section where human scribes and collectors meticulously record incoming revenue, track trade duties, and manage the collection of various tributes from conquered lands and internal provinces. Dominating this area is a formidable, muscular Bengal cat, its spotted coat resembling ancient gold, its eyes sharp and unblinking, missing nothing. It paces methodically along the tables laden with tax ledgers, its tail occasionally twitching with an almost auditing rhythm, as if silently calculating discrepancies or identifying potential evasions. This is undoubtedly the chief tax collector, a feline master of ancient Egyptian fiscal policy. One mainstream historical fact is the highly centralized and complex taxation system of ancient Egypt, essential for funding the pharaoh's monumental projects and maintaining the state. The role of cats in overseeing this crucial financial machinery adds a unique layer of divine integrity and perhaps an intuitive detection of fraud. You watch as a human tax collector, with a worried expression, presents a newly compiled scroll detailing the tax revenues from a particularly prosperous district. The Bengal cat stops, sniffs the papyrus, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific entry on the ledger, as if questioning the reported amount or indicating an overlooked source of income. The collector immediately takes note, his face showing a mixture of apprehension and recognition, perhaps realizing a discrepancy he had hoped to conceal. It's a silent yet powerful form of fiscal scrutiny. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in taxation was primarily symbolic, representing the divine right of the pharaoh to collect tribute, or if they were believed to possess genuine abilities to detect dishonesty or financial irregularities. Was it a furry forensic accountant or a divine enforcer? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage honesty in tax declarations and deter attempts at evasion, lest the cat's disapproval invite divine retribution or a very uncomfortable performance review. Your reported grain surplus lacks precision human. My whiskers detect a hidden granary. Also, your fish tribute seems suspiciously low. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably effective. The air in this section is cool and dry, permeated with the faint scent of copper coins and the earthy aroma of dried papyrus, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various deities associated with wealth and prosperity, placed among the tax scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for a bountiful treasury, often mediated by the feline tax officers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, delectable portions of freshly grilled fish, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline fiscal team. There's a palpable sense of respect, and even a touch of fear in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of national finance. You wonder about the specific types of taxes overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in land taxes, another in trade duties, or perhaps in the management of foreign tributes? The idea of highly specialized feline financial experts is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of figures and the soft rustle of tax ledgers are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of fiscal administration, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most sensitive and vital aspects of their economy, believing that their presence ensured fairness, transparency, and divine abundance for the state. You spot a particularly plump cat, its fur a luxurious cream color, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls detailing the allocation of royal funds for temple construction. It seems even in matters of grand expenditure, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on this budget suggests a slight reallocation towards more comfortable napping cushions for the administrative staff. It's a matter of personal well-being human. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the intricacies of national finance were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of financial stability. As evening shadows lengthen, slowly claiming the vast hall, the administrative focus shifts to the fascinating, yet often overlooked, realm of ceremonial records and festival organization. You observe a vibrant section where human scribes and priests meticulously document the elaborate rituals, religious holidays, and grand celebrations that punctuated ancient Egyptian life. Perched with an air of dignified anticipation atop a stack of brilliantly colored festival papyri, is a regal and elegant Turkish Angora cat, its long, flowing white fur almost shimmering in the fading light, its odd eyes, one blue, one amber, reflecting an almost artistic discernment. Its tail occasionally twitches with a graceful rhythm, as if silently choreographing the next grand procession. This is undoubtedly the chief celebrations officer, a feline maestro of ancient Egyptian festivity. One quirky or fringe tidbit suggests that certain cats were believed to possess a natural talent for rhythm and harmony, making them ideal supervisors for ensuring the proper timing and aesthetic beauty of religious dances and musical performances during festivals. Imagine a cat judging your flute solo. You watch as a human festival organizer, with a harried expression, presents a newly drafted schedule for the upcoming Opet festival. The Turkish Angora stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific entry on the papyrus, perhaps suggesting a more auspicious date for a particular ritual, or a more visually striking arrangement for a procession. The organizer immediately takes note, his face showing a mixture of relief and renewed inspiration, perhaps realizing a creative enhancement he had overlooked. It's a silent yet powerful form of artistic direction. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in ceremonial organization was primarily symbolic, representing the divine joy and order of the gods, or if they were believed to possess genuine aesthetic judgment and an understanding of ritualistic propriety. Was it a furry event planner or a divine artistic director? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage meticulous attention to detail and inspire a sense of sacred grandeur in all ceremonial preparations, lest the cat's disapproval lead to an uninspired festival. Your perspective on this procession route suggests too many right turns, human. We need more dramatic flourishes, and perhaps more purple banners. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably insightful. The air in this section is cool and dry, permeated with the sweet scent of lotus blossoms and the faint aroma of burning incense, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of various deities associated with joy, music, and celebration, placed among the festival scrolls, serving as symbolic appeals for a truly magnificent and divinely blessed event, often mediated by the feline celebrations officers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, delectable portions of sweet dates, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline ceremonial team. There's a palpable sense of respect and enthusiasm in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's invaluable role in bringing joy and spiritual fulfillment to the populace. You wonder about the specific types of festivals overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in harvest festivals, another in royal jubilees, or perhaps in the intricate rituals of the said festival? The idea of highly specialized feline event coordinators is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of planning discussions and the soft rustle of ceremonial texts are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of ancient festivity, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most joyous and spiritually significant aspects of their lives, believing that their presence ensured a harmonious and divinely approved celebration. You spot a particularly fluffy cat, its fur a delightful mix of ginger and white, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls detailing the menu for a temple feast. It seems even in matters of culinary planning, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on this menu suggests more fish. Definitely more fish. And perhaps a few more mice for the entertainment. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the intricacies of cultural and religious celebration were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of perpetual joy. As the night deepens, shrouding the vast hall in profound shadows that dance with the flickering oil lamps, the administrative focus shifts to the esoteric and highly guarded realm of magical texts and protective spells. You observe a secluded, almost clandestine section where human magician priests and scribes meticulously copy, interpret, and store scrolls related to ancient Egyptian magic, curses, and divine protection. Perched with an air of profound mystery and ancient power atop a stack of ominous-looking spell scrolls is a sleek black Bombay cat, its glossy fur absorbing the dim light, its piercing golden eyes seeming to penetrate beyond the visible world. Its tail occasionally twitches with an almost arcane rhythm, as if silently weaving enchantments or warding off malevolent forces. This is undoubtedly the chief sorcerer, a feline guardian of ancient Egyptian magical knowledge. One mainstream historical fact is the widespread belief in magic and its integration into various aspects of ancient Egyptian life, from protective amulets to elaborate rituals for healing or cursing. The idea of cats overseeing these potent texts adds a unique layer of spiritual potency and perhaps an intuitive understanding of magical energies. You watch as a human magician scribe, with a mixture of awe and trepidation, carefully unrolls a newly discovered scroll containing what appears to be a powerful protection spell. The Bombay cat stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific hieroglyph on the papyrus, perhaps indicating a subtle but crucial alteration to the incantation or a more potent way to activate the spell. The scribe immediately takes note, his face showing a mixture of enlightenment and solemn respect, perhaps realizing a deeper layer of magical efficacy he had overlooked. It's a silent yet powerful form of arcane consultation. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in magical administration was primarily symbolic, representing the divine power of protection against evil, or if they were believed to possess genuine magical abilities or an innate understanding of mystical forces. Was it a furry familiar or a genuine sorcerer? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine and to possess mystical insight, would surely enhance the power of any spell or ritual and deter any misuse of the sacred texts. Your perspective on this warding spell suggests a stronger focus on the southeast quadrant human, and perhaps a few more purrs during the incantation for maximum effect. Also, my dream last night was of a particularly potent rat. Coincidence? I think not. The thought is both mystical and, in this context, profoundly compelling. The air in this section is thick with the sweet, heady scent of exotic resins and dried herbs used in magical rites, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved amulets depicting various protective deities and magical symbols placed among the spell scrolls, serving as symbolic reinforcement for the feline sorcerers. You see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, perfectly preserved portions of dried pigeon, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline magical team. There's a palpable sense of solemn respect, and even a touch of fear in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of life, death, and the unseen forces. You wonder about the specific types of magic overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in protective charms, another in healing spells, or perhaps in the intricate rituals of divine curses? The idea of highly specialized feline sorcerers is both charming and a little unsettling. The continuous, low murmur of chanted spells and the soft rustle of magical texts are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of ancient magic, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most dangerous and mysterious aspects of their lives, believing that their presence ensured protection, efficacy, and divine favor in their magical endeavors. You spot a particularly ancient-looking cat, its fur a mangy patchwork of colors, napping contentedly on a pile of scrolls detailing the banishment of evil spirits. It seems even in matters of exorcism, feline oversight was paramount. My perspective on malevolent entities suggests a liberal application of sunbeams and a strategically placed scratch post. Also, they tend to be very allergic to purring. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the deepest mysteries of the universe and the forces of magic were imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of ancient power. As the night deepens, with the moon casting a silver glow through the high windows, the administrative focus shifts to the intricate and delicate realm of royal household management and pharaonic personal affairs. You observe a secluded, opulent section where human chamberlains and scribes meticulously manage the pharaoh's wardrobe, his daily schedule, the palace budget, and even the affairs of the royal family, perched with an air of unparalleled regality atop a cushion, embroidered with gold thread, is a magnificent and sleek Egyptian Mao, its coat shimmering like burnished bronze, its emerald eyes radiating an almost imperious authority. Its tail occasionally twitches with a slow, deliberate rhythm, as if silently dictating royal protocol or approving a new decree. This is undoubtedly the Grand Vizier of the royal household, a feline master of pharaonic domesticity. One mainstream historical fact is the immense power and elaborate court structure surrounding the ancient Egyptian pharaoh, with every aspect of their life meticulously managed. The idea of a cat overseeing these intimate details adds a unique layer of divine oversight and perhaps a subtle influence on royal decisions. You watch as a human chamberlain, with a nervous bow, presents a newly drafted schedule for the pharaoh's upcoming public appearance. The Egyptian Mao stretches languidly, then extends a paw, gently tapping a specific time entry on the papyrus, as if suggesting a more propitious hour or a more leisurely pace for the divine ruler. The chamberlain immediately takes note, his face showing a mixture of relief and solemn understanding, perhaps realizing a subtle shift in the pharaoh's, or the cat's, preference. It's a silent yet powerful form of royal advisory. Historians still argue whether the cat's involvement in royal affairs was primarily symbolic, representing the pharaoh's divine connection to Bastet, or if they were believed to genuinely influence royal decisions through mystical or intuitive means. Was it a furry consigliere or a divine puppet master? You consider the practical implications. The sheer presence of a revered feline, believed to be connected to the divine, would surely encourage meticulous attention to detail in royal affairs and prevent any minor mishap from escalating into a divine displeasure. Your perspective on the pharaoh's dinner menu suggests more grilled fish, human, and perhaps a lighter hand with the sacred oils. My sensitive whiskers detect a slight imbalance. The thought is both humorous and, in this context, remarkably influential. The air in this section is cool and still, permeated with the faint scent of expensive perfumes and polished wood, mingling with the natural musk of the feline presence. You notice small, intricately carved figures of royal deities and protective amulets, placed around the pharaoh's personal scrolls, serving as symbolic safeguards for the divine ruler. Often mediated by the feline household overseers, you see a human attendant carefully refreshing bowls of fresh water and small, exquisite portions of roasted duck, ensuring the comfort and well-being of the feline royal advisory team. There's a palpable sense of reverence and discretion in their movements, a silent acknowledgement of the cat's ultimate authority in matters of royal prestige. You wonder about the specific aspects of royal life overseen by different cats. Did a particular cat specialize in the pharaoh's wardrobe, another in the management of the royal harem, or perhaps in the delicate negotiations of royal marriages? The idea of highly specialized feline royal advisors is both charming and a little overwhelming. The continuous, low murmur of whispered instructions and the soft rustle of royal decrees are punctuated by the occasional deep purr or gentle meow from the feline overseers. It's a rhythmic symphony of royal governance, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the profound trust that the ancient Egyptians placed in their animal companions, integrating them into the most personal and powerful aspects of their leadership, believing that their presence ensured the pharaoh's well-being, divine favor, and the smooth functioning of the entire kingdom. You spot a particularly playful kitten attempting to bat at the golden tassel of a miniature royal scepter. It seems even in matters of regal symbolism, feline oversight was paramount. Not now, young one. This scepter symbolizes divine authority. Your time for playful destruction will come when you oversee the royal mouse population. The entire scene is a vivid testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the very essence of royal power was imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of royal grace and power. As the deepest part of the night descends upon the ancient hall, a profound stillness settles, punctuated only by the distant calls of nocturnal birds and the soft breathing of the myriad cats. The administrative focus now transcends individual departments, encompassing the overarching philosophy and spiritual integration of the entire feline bureaucracy. You observe a vast, central area where the most ancient and venerable cats are gathered, their eyes, even in slumber, emanating a collective wisdom that seems to resonate with the very stones of the hall. Here, there are no specific scrolls or human scribes, only the quiet, powerful presence of feline consciousness. Perched on an elevated, intricately carved platform, a colossal, ancient cat, its fur a blend of iridescent black and silver, seems to pulse with a gentle, rhythmic light. Its very presence suggests not just oversight, but the fundamental energetic source of the entire system. This is undoubtedly the Prime Minister, the ultimate spiritual and administrative guide, the living embodiment of the peculiar power. One mainstream historical fact is the ancient Egyptians' holistic worldview, where religion, governance, and daily life were inextricably intertwined, reflecting a deep spiritual connection to their environment and the divine. The concept of a pervasive feline bureaucracy perfectly encapsulates this integrated philosophy. You watch as a faint, ethereal glow emanates from the Prime Minister, rippling outwards to touch every sleeping cat in the hall, seemingly recharging their spiritual batteries, preparing them for the dawn's responsibilities. It's a silent, profound act of collective rejuvenation and reaffirmation of their purpose. Historians still argue whether the Egyptians consciously constructed this elaborate feline bureaucracy as a societal control mechanism, or if it evolved organically from a genuine spiritual reverence that gradually became formalized. Was it a clever manipulation or a heartfelt expression of faith? You consider the profound philosophical implications. Perhaps the feline presence instilled a sense of peace, a quiet diligence, and a subtle spiritual dimension into every bureaucratic task, making it more than just mundane administration, but an act of worship. The essence of efficient governance, human, lies not in relentless activity, but in the harmonious flow of cosmic energy, punctuated by frequent, well-timed naps, and always, a fresh supply of purrs. The thought is both mystical and, in this context, deeply profound. The air in this central area is cool and still, permeated with a subtle, almost imperceptible scent of timelessness, mingled with the gentle, calming musk of thousands of sleeping cats. You notice no specific offerings or human attendants here. The very atmosphere is one of self-sustaining spiritual power, a silent communion between the feline leaders and the ancient world they oversee. You see the faint, rhythmic pulse of light from the Prime Minister grow stronger, a silent beacon of order and tranquility in the heart of the vast administrative complex. It's a testament to the enduring power of their collective consciousness, a silent guardian of millennia. You wonder about the ultimate purpose of this all-encompassing feline bureaucracy. Was it to ensure the smooth functioning of the state, or to guide humanity towards a more harmonious existence with the divine and the natural world? The answer, in this ancient setting, seems to be both. The continuous, deep hum of collective purring from the sleeping cats creates a pervasive, soothing vibration that resonates through the very air, a constant reminder of the gentle, powerful force that underpins the entire civilization. It's a symphony of cosmic order, guided by the silent wisdom of their furry masters. You reflect on the incredible depth of belief and the unique worldview that allowed the ancient Egyptians to integrate their reverence for animals into the very fabric of their governance, creating a system that was both practical and profoundly spiritual. You spot a small, playful kitten, awakened by the Prime Minister's gentle glow, batting at a stray moonbeam. Even in this realm of ultimate authority, the spirit of innocent joy finds its place. All work and no play makes Bastet a dull goddess, young one. Now, let's practice our pounces for tomorrow's administrative duties. The entire scene is a majestic and awe-inspiring testament to the peculiar power of Egyptian cat bureaucracy, a system where the very fabric of existence was imbued with a layer of divine guidance, all overseen by the silent wisdom of their revered feline companions. You can almost feel the gentle hum of the feline network, a steady, rhythmic vibration that permeates the very air of this ancient hall, a soothing echo of eternal peace and profound purpose. Now, as the echoes of ancient purrs begin to fade, let your own breath deepen, softening with each slow exhale. Imagine the dust motes in the warm air, dancing, settling, finding their quiet rest. The vast hall, once bustling with quiet administrative energy, now rests in profound stillness. The grand experiment of feline bureaucracy, finally receding into the mists of time. Feel the gentle hum of the world around you, a soft, comforting vibration that guides you towards peaceful repose. The ancient stories, the whispers of the past, they linger, but their urgency has passed, replaced by a profound tranquility. Allow your eyelids to grow heavy, your muscles to release their hold, as you drift deeper into the soft currents of sleep. The peculiar power, the quiet wisdom of the feline overseers, now merges with the gentle rhythm of your own breath, carrying you to a place of profound calm. Let the quiet shadows embrace you, as the dreams of ancient Egypt gently weave themselves into the tapestry of your slumber. Good night.